My name is Salvador Mendoza, and I'm going to talk about how to exploit all magstripe information with new technology. The idea behind this talk is how to implement audio waves and Bluetooth connections. A little bit about myself. I'm a security researcher. Last year I present about Samsung Pay, tokenized number flaws and issues here in DEF CON. And even today we're going to use some Samsung Pay tokens just for the demos. What exactly is magstripe information? Well, any kind of capability to store magstripe information, they have these iron-based magnetic particles that could be changed implementing magnetism. But how we can relate magstripe information with audio files? To do that, we need to, in this case, in order to transmit magstripe information into audio, we need to be able to mimic the audio waves from the magnetic field changes when you swipe a card. These kind of waves are the F2F signals, and they contain zeros and ones that the card reader can interpret like any kind of character. These characters are, of course, account numbers, names on the cards, all that kind of information that you're going to have in the card. This is how it looks an audio spoof or audio file. We have many different kind of spikes on them, but what that really means. From Major Malfunction DEF CON 14, more than 10 years ago, he talked about magstripe madness. In that presentation, he said that depending on the space of the spikes, there are going to be zeros and ones, and these zeros and ones is going to represent the characters. But of course, how we can transmit this kind of information to the card reader? Last year, Weston Hacker present how to brute force hotel keys foils implementing an M3 player. But also he present how to send raw magstripe data with an M3 player too. So I started researching what kind of technology we need to do that kind of thing. If you try to transmit audio files implementing just the audio by itself, you're not going to get anything in the card reader, or you're going to get some kind of errors. The key in this attack is the amplifier. Sounds kind of funny. You need an amplifier to amplify the signal. So the first demo is how to use Raspberry Pi and one coil from, this is the cheapest one, $3 from eBay. This has a range for 5 volts to 12 volts. How you can transmit magstripe information. The setup is basic. You connect the audio to the Raspberry output and connect directly to the amplifier. I'm using an external power source to the amplifier, so I don't want to damage my Raspberry Pi. And I'm using a coil from my last Mag spoof that I use for my last stack here in DEF CON. I connect a credit card reader directly to my laptop. So basically, when I run a audio spoof or audio file, I get directly the magstripe information into my terminal. So you can see in the credit card reader how the lights detect the signal and send directly to the terminal. So after this approach, I was thinking about portability, how we can do some kind of thing like that, but to be used in different kind of things. The main idea was what kind of technology we have that can support audio and could be cross-platform. Well, we have Bluetooth technology. I start buying many different kind of speakers, try to implement in this kind of attack. And this one specifically has a amplifier built on. So we don't need an external amplifier. So I designed a tool that I call it Blue Spoof. The Blue Spoof is a tool not kind of similar to the Samicam Card Mag spoof, because that one implements an i1085 microchip and also a motor controller. This one implements a Bluetooth speaker board and implements audio files. And of course, a coil. Some of the characteristics of this tool is cheap, Bluetooth support, 3-point volts vary, portable, and accurate. So what about the demo? So it can be charged directly from 5 volts, like any kind of charger that you have for your cell phones. So in this presentation, I'm creating a WAV file, implementing a track2 form, and the magstripe information I'm using is a Samsung Pay token for my Chase account. Please don't use it. You are going to be able to do it. I hope so. So in this case, I'm creating the Chase Pay WAV file. I'm connecting to the Blue spoof like normal Bluetooth speaker. After I connect it, I'm going to open Audacity so I can see the WAV files from the file that I just created. After I open the file, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the output of the Audacity to send the data to the Blue spoof tool. So you can see the waves in this file, how it looks like. The name of the Blue spoof register in my computer is the token. So when I play like loop play in this attack, what I'm trying to do is I'm approaching the Blue spoof to my credit card reader to get some kind of information. So you can see how I start detecting the signals when I approach this kind of tool. So what about another kind of devices? What about a Huawei cheap smartphone? I'm talking about $20 smartphone. It's already connected to a Blue spoof tool. So I approach this one to the credit card reader, and what happened is I start detecting the signals momentarily, and after that, you start registering like another kind of tracks. After this, I'm going to implement an iPhone 6, because all of them have support to a Bluetooth connection. We can implement in all kind of devices. It's kind of cool how the iPhone sends the magstripe signals, because almost all of them are detecting the credit card reader. So I'm going to play the same WAV file. I'm implementing a loop to get a better result in the attack. So you can see how it detects the signals, the credit card reader. What about the Samsung Galaxies? Well, they work the same. You're implementing the Bluetooth connection too. And it's almost like the iPhone's result. I can detect almost all the tracks sending by the audio spoof. Well, the question is, how can I implement this kind of attack without downloading any kind of file to my computer or to my device? So, designing a project that I call violentmac.com, I was able to create audio spoof from the web browser. So thanks to HD for this idea. The main point here is to create audio files in the web server, and after that we can create or to play the WAV files from the web server without the necessity of downloading any kind of file. So let's say I'm using an iPhone 6 in this example. I'm going to play from the web browser, implementing HTML5 support, and you can see in the background how the magstripe is detected by the credit card reader. So let's try to make a payment. I mean, that's the main idea of this kind of attack. Let's see it really works in the real time, in the live. So I'm going to make a payment in this kind of terminal. It's already detected the signal very quickly, and I can select the product. After that, it's going to validate it. I'm using a Samsung Pay token. They say they can't use any kind of device that Samsung devices. And I get a notification from Samsung that I'm using one of his tokens. Of course, after that, if you are tired of spoofing, you can connect directly to your original speaker and use it like normal. So the question is how we can use this kind of tool to attack different targets. Let's put a scenario of Weston hacker that he was trying to brute force different kind of door locks in the hotels. How we can send data? Let's say we have 2 locks in the hotel, and we have 2 blue spoofs that we can put one in one lock, the other one in another card reader. So we can send data to both of them simultaneously, so we can see which one can open. In this example, I'm using one of the programs from my laptop called Audio MIDI Setup in my Mac. I'm going to create a multi-output device. I already have 2 devices, 2 blue spoofs connected to my computer. So I could add them to this multi-output device. After that, in the output selection in the sound settings, I select the output. So let's see a demo of this one. So in this example, I have two computers with two credit card readers. I have two spoofs already connected, and I have my laptop that has the same settings that I present today. I'm going to play an audio spoof file, and you will see in the background how all these two computers detect the signal simultaneously. Yeah, I play again. I'm using a Windows in one machine, I'm using Ubuntu in the another one. So I'm playing the audio, and you can see that it detects the tracks in two computers simultaneously. Now the big question is how we can send different data to different blue spoofs. It's kind of challenging. First, I tried to use SOTs from terminal to select the output device, but it didn't work in my computer. So I started searching, and I used Python sound device library. You are able to connect to multiple devices, and you can control them implementing Python. So let's tell you a little bit about the background of Samsung Pay tokens. When you are making a payment using Samsung Pay, if you put the cell phone offline mode, all the tokens, some of the part of the tokens is going to be incremental, but the cryptogram is going to be static. The last part of the token is going to be random numbers, 3 digits. How we can brute force these 3 digits? Because I know the transaction ID is going to be incremental, so the next one, instead of 10, is going to be 11. So let's try to make a brute force attack. So in this example, I'm implementing 3 different blue spoofs simultaneously. I'm connecting to my computer, your laptop, in this case the Mac, you can connect that up to 7. But in this particular case, I'm connecting 3, but yet I'm going to use 2 of them. I'm going to put them close to the credit card readers, so you can see, oh, I think I got the WannaCry in my Windows computer. So I'm going to put close to the credit card readers, and I'm going to check the output first, the sound device library, to show you the outputs of the sounds board. So I have 3 outputs, but I'm just going to use the IDs 3 and 5 for this attack because they are my blue spoof tools. So I'm going to generate a brute force attack. In this case, I'm going to use this token sample that I mentioned, and I'm going to create a WAV files from that. So if the token transaction ID is 10 in this one, the next one has to be 11. And the random numbers I'm going to create is from 0 to 20, just on sample. After that, it's going to generate the WAV files, and it's going to start sending, depending on the idea of the speakers, different kind of magstripe information to another one. You can see in the background how it's going to detect the signals one and the next one. So if they are different tokens in one terminal and another one has to be even numbers in the random, and the next one has to be odd numbers. So after it's running this attack, I'm going to approach the camera so you can see the tokens to show you the even numbers are the difference between one token and another one. I'm giving like 2 seconds of sleep just to not be too fast. So you can see in the back part of the token we have 3s, 1s, 5s, 7s. And these ones are 4s, 6s, 8s, 10s, 12s. So they are different tokens for different kind of attacks, or for the brute force attacks. In this part of the base that we're making in the attack, we have the track numbers, frequency, padding, base, maximum bits, and the name of the WAV file that I'm implementing. Of course, you can see what kind of speaker we are sending, any kind of token. After it's completed, you can see how you get the last token is going to be 20 because that was my last part of the token, or the last part of the tag. So this Saturday, I'm going to present Demo Labs, this tool I call SamiCam, in honor of SamiCam car. It's about magstripe information and how to implement Blue Spoof together with this tool. So you're welcome to be there. Thank you to all these guys for all the support. And please, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me.